The second month I made $11,000, and the third month I made $27,000. Blown away. Yeah, it works, man.
Speaking it into existence. I mean, it's just crazy how the last, really, I guess this is like a culmination of our lives too. Like we've all been on this path to get here. And so
yeah,
this is going to be, I guess we'll just hop in right here, whatever. Like this is going to be a little bit my style, a little bit raw, unscripted, but done. So never aiming for perfection, but just honesty, rawness, and value. So welcome to the Vegan Squad Pod. I'm John Thomas, aka the Bodybuilding Vegan. I'm joined here with two of the most incredible humans that I know on earth. To my top left, I got Alex Nerus, aka your vegan mentor, and we got Jordan Seigel at the top right, and it's bodybuilding with cancer. Is that correct, sir?
You got it. No, vegan bodybuilding with cancer.
Even more important, vegan bodybuilding with cancer.
Gotta get Thank you. In there.
So I don't know. We're just three dudes here, all high up on the Vegan Squad team. Not like high above other people, but like deep into this. And we wanted to bring you this podcast, bring on some killer guests. Sneak peek, we got Gary Yourofsky coming on next. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels for that. But today we're just kind of in the background talking about what we want to do, where we want to go, who we want to help. And just recently, like speaking things into existence. Back in February of 2025, I had two people on my team. I had Alex Nerus and I had David Omini. And I looked at Allie and I told her, I want to have 10 by the end of the year. And our executive chat right now has, I believe, 20 members. So we have ballooned up as the Vegan Squad team. We actually, at that time though, Jordan, the thing is you can't perceive the future. You can't see the future. If you told me a year ago, you're going to be interviewing Gary Yourofsky with a vegan bodybuilding with cancer and your best friend, I'd say, how the hell is that going to happen? But at that time in February, when I said we're going to get 10 people, I had no clue how we were going to get 10 people. I didn't realize we're going to have to create the Vegan Squad team. It wasn't even a word. It wasn't in existence yet. So we're talking about speaking things into existence. And Jordan, you were saying how you wrote yourself a blank check and were able to make more money than you ever had or ever believed maybe possible in 3 months and still doing some crazy things. So how the hell did you get Gary to come on our podcast?
Dude, I just reached out to him, man. I reached out to him. I said, listen, huge fan. And we have a community and we want to help you support Sasha Farms. When you show people that you care about them, they open their hearts and they care about you. And I wanted to share with him how we could help him with his mission. And he's going to help us with our mission and really share our community with his audience. So very excited. It was simply an email and he wrote back later on that Monday.
Wow. His inbox is about to get flooded. Alex, are you familiar with Gary?
Yeah. I still have yet to watch the best speech ever here, to be honest, but I've met multiple of my friends that have gone vegan from watching that speech. So I'm really excited to meet him in person.
Let's listen to that speech on the way to our event. We're going to be in Lakeland, Florida, for those couple of you that are live here watching on January 17th. And that'll be right before we record with Gary, so we can listen to that together. It's actually pretty cool. We have one on our team, Melissa Donovan, aka my plant-based friend. It was listening to that speech that helped her go vegan. So we're literally going to talk to somebody that's helped, from what I've seen, millions of people go vegan. And we're going to get to interview the person that helped one on our team go vegan. So like 11 years.
Yeah, man, I was, I was plant-based 100%. And once I listened to that speech by Gary, I was vegan by the end of it.
It's just like, it's powerful. Words are powerful. And like, I think we need to remind ourselves of that. And I'm going to turn this back around on anybody listening right now. One of the most powerful people you can talk to with your words is yourself. Like how you talk to yourself. I try to not call myself stupid. I try to really focus on the things I'm good at, and then also give myself some grace. Like Alex was fixing all the technical stuff. Like I'm just not an expert at that. So thank you, Alex, for getting this. This podcast has been multifaceted. Like Jordan had the idea to interview a guest, and I was like, Yep, we need a podcast for that. Like we can't just like one-off. I don't want to one-off anything. Anything I do now needs to be scalable, because that's how we can really grow and help people create systems and make things build off the momentum. But then on the technical side, I'm okay, but we needed some extra support, so I put it all on Alex, and he said, "Yeah, sure, boss, I'll do whatever you need me to do." Alex is my best friend, but he's also I'll let you talk a little about yourself a little bit, Alex. He's also like the foundation of what we do here, because Alex kind of like moved in with me almost when we were living. Well, we weren't living together yet, but like he was over at my house like 8 hours a day, helping me take care of myself and clean the house and learn everything I do behind the business. So like literally, I'll put this out for the world to hear. If somebody kills me or if I die from other causes, Alex inherits everything. Not my girlfriend, Allie, who is amazing and wonderful, and not my brother or my sister and not my mom, but Alex, because he knows the most about Vegan Squad, and he knows the most about my heart. And I would hate to give him that burden, but I know he would carry this out in the best way that he could. So if anybody wants to put a hit on me, it's all going to Alex. I hope to be here for a long time, but also, like I said, scalable and like methodical. I want there to be contingencies in place. I don't want this mission to die with me. Frankly, like I said, we got 20 awesome people, like best people in the world in our execs team. This is bigger than any one of them. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than Jordan. It's bigger than Alex. Helping the world, helping people, helping animals needs to go on after we're all gone. So we're setting it up for that. But Alex, how did you finagle your way into my life? or maybe who are you? Like, we don't have to make this all about me. Yeah, let's talk about you. You're vegan mentor over here.
No, you're good. Yeah, and like how Vegan Squad started. Yeah, I think going back to how we started in the beginning, the universe really brought us together. I feel like when y'all were talking about how, you know, the universe brought you to certain things that you had talked about, like Jordan with you making the money you had made in that short period of time, and then John with you wanting to hire 20 people on the team, or 10 people on the team at first. One of our other members, Maya, she made a vision board last year before she went vegan, or right around the time she went vegan. And she said the future is vegan on her vision board. And that actually became part of our message in Vegan Squad when we started it. And she had no idea that she would be starting the Vegan Squad with us. So yeah, long tangent, but I think that the universe brought us together. Yeah, I moved to Florida because of an ex-girlfriend, ended up meeting John, and we just became besties. I started helping him around the house and doing all this editing, filming all the business things in the background, and learning for myself, and kind of having like a paid internship almost. But yeah, we both were doing online coaching before we met each other, and we both talked about how lonely it was doing it on our own, and just figuring out everything on your own, sitting in your house by yourself and working on your projects by yourself. And yeah, just like you said, you know, working together, we kind of saw how it feels to have like in-person vegan family. You were also one of the first, I think maybe the first vegan friend that I ever had, truly, that I was very close to. So it just really opened my eyes and you helped make my voice stronger for the animals. And I think that everybody on this team has a very strong voice just in general, with wanting to help the world, and also wanting to help the animals, which is why we started Vegan Squad Coaching, and just to help people learn how to thrive as a vegan, whether you're a new vegan, becoming vegan, and you want support in that, or you want help physically, mentally, spiritually, want to help you be the best version of yourself so that you can do it for yourself, but also do it for the world to help make the world a better place. So that was a lot of tangents, but
Yeah.
we're here.
If you don't like tangents, you can just turn this off now, because there will be lots of tangents in your future. Jordan, how did you I mean, maybe we got time. We could go kind of through our own little journeys here. Like, we'll get back to the podcast. Like this, yes, this is a podcast, but I feel like it's important to know the people speaking about the podcast. Like, long-term goals of the podcast, we want to reach the world. We're going to be bringing on very, very high-profile guests, and then we'll also be bringing on some not so high-profile guests. I was just saying, I had a call this morning with a client now that just signed up, and he had been working, to the best of my knowledge, in a factory farm, and he decided he just could not do that anymore, and ended up flipping the switch and applied to work at an animal sanctuary as like a cattle hand to help with the cows that they have there. And they said one of the stipulations of working here is you have to be vegan. So he just went vegan like overnight and ate peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for 3 weeks straight to be vegan until he could figure out what else to eat. And I was just like, that's so powerful that you could just like go so quickly in the opposite direction. And on his way out, he saved 2 baby chicks that had hatched in the trash. And it just is like, on the one hand, so dark and so horrible what we do in this world. But if we can find little glimpses, Lewis, I'll shout you out, brother. People like you inspire me to keep moving forward. So we might bring on some people that you haven't heard of before, but they have inspiring stories, or people like Gary Orosky, Tori Washington. I don't know. We got some other heavy hitters too that have agreed to come on, but I think you guys should learn about us. So Jordan, vegan bodybuilding with cancer. That's so much. Like in your handle, like that's so much to take in there. I'd love to give like a couple minutes to you and hear more about your backstory and why you picked that handle and how the hell you ended up on this podcast.
Yeah, so I first went plant-based in 2016, and it was for health purposes. So at the time, I had 2 heart arrhythmias. I was living with bipolar disorder as well. And I watched Forks Over Knives. I believe What the Health may have came out in 2016 or 2017. And there were a few other documentaries that I saw. And I had a consult with a plant-based cardiologist that was actually on the Joe Rogan show that's going to be on our pod as well, Dr. Joel Kahn. And he went over the scientific research with me. And I said, you know what? I want to give this a try. And I never felt better before in my life. I lost a ton of weight. If you've seen a picture of me, I'll text you guys a picture of me. You guys are going to be like, oh my God, that is another human being. I weighed at my heaviest 265. I was huge. Yeah, I know. And yeah, I lost a ton of weight. And I just loved how I felt. And in 2017, for a whole year, I tried to get my dad to go plant-based because my dad lived with a COPD. He lived with an aortic aneurysm. He lived with heart arrhythmias, but he also lived with cancer. He lived with leukemia, just like I have right now. And I tried for a year, and it was only through him seeing my energy and him seeing the change in me that inspired him to actually transform. And we were gifted, 3 to 4 extra years of my dad. And it was such a blessing. And I loved every moment of it. When my dad passed away, though, I kind of lost a little bit of inspiration and I wasn't in a great place. And I grew up chubby. I was called Shamu when I was in 4th grade. And that's why I got into fitness, because I knew that I could utilize fitness and nutrition to manipulate my body to look a certain way. So maybe I could feel a certain way and I could get eyeballs on me, and that would make me feel good about myself. So I wasn't in a good place, and I went back to eating meat because I wasn't educated on how to leverage a vegan diet to actually have a nice aesthetic look. And that messed with my psyche. And I went back to a meat-based diet and I felt like crap, absolute crap. But I continued to eat meat because it made me look a certain way. And even though I looked a certain way, I never felt a certain way. And eventually I was diagnosed with cancer. And it was a complete shock to my system. And I knew that I needed to make a change. I said, listen, I'm at a point in my life right now where I have 3 kids that I'm responsible for. I need to grow out of this mindset that I need to feel a certain way to have a certain experience of life. I have 3 beautiful children. I have a wife that I am hugely in love with, and I need to be around for them. So I went back to living plant-based. And then I came across your content, John, and we live in a world where men are supposed to be macho. Men are supposed to be like these influencers out there like Andrew Tate. They're supposed to be big, bad, have huge muscles, etc. But it wasn't your huge muscles, which you have, that attracted me to you. Is your vulnerability, your honesty, your transparency. You are who you are. You wear your heart on your sleeve. And through your content, I was just blown away, and I just really connected with you. And I said to myself, you know what? I want to hire John. And the reason why is because I'm at a point in my life where I just developed cancer. I have and live with regrets, a lot of them in different aspects of my life. And one thing that I've always wanted to do was be in a bodybuilding competition. I love the structure of it. I love the structure of bodybuilding. I love the feeling of it, the discipline, waking up early in the morning, getting lifting out of the way. I love having to eat the same thing day after day. I really enjoy that. And I want to be on stage because I want to show others what's possible with cancer. And I said, I have to get in touch with John. And that's when I reached out to you, and the rest is history. So
I think I'll share a little bit more. You had reached out to me, and then we didn't come to an original agreement, but you still reached out to be a part of the community that we have. And then I got to know you, and we got to spend a lot of time together. And I was like, man, this guy is putting so much into the community. And then you told me you wanted to compete again. And I was like, this just makes sense. I want to work with really good people. That's who I want to surround myself with. And with this vegan squad, have people like you, Jordan, but they're all like you. They're all really big-hearted, great people, and we're all coaches. I was telling a business owner yesterday, like, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Like, I literally am around all these great coaches that just are, whether they mean to or not, whether they're like, oh, hey, you could be a little nicer here, or more of like, you don't have to be so hard on yourself about that. You work your ass off every day. And they just keep loving me and building me up and making me better. And like, I'm trying to be a coach too for all of them and like see their strengths and help make them do hard things. Like, we got Melissa out to ask people to come sign up yesterday, like in-person direct sales. And she's like, I've never done that before. I'm like, that's okay. I don't expect you to be perfect. You go get your reps in. You'll figure it out. Just like you sucked at the gym the first day, you're going to suck at this. Like, I expect you to suck, and then we'll get better. And like, we're just in this constant environment of growth. It's always uncomfortable, but we're always growing, and we're always here. We always got each other's back. So glad to have you here. And this whole podcast is basically Jordan's idea. He reached out and got Gary secured, and I was like, well, I just will do a podcast. Why not? So much to unpack. Like, we do not have time for this initial episode to go deep, and I think we should probably have like a character development for each one of us where we give the full story. But
love that.
Really powerful, man. Really powerful. And you're a dad, a husband. You got a lot to be here for. And I think in my own journey, I also tried to get my dad to go plant-based. Tried for 20 years. Well, actually probably like 17 years. My dad passed a couple years back from cancer. And I wish he would have gone plant-based. I went to the hospital to see the foods they're feeding him, and I was like, Jesus Christ, like, we are so far from where we need to be. Like, none of this is healthy. None of this is what you need to be healthy. But losing my dad was, I hope this is my own personal interpretation. I don't want to put this on anyone else, anyone listening, but for me, it was a gift because it reminded me I want to live my life while I'm here. And I want every day to matter. And I swear, it's like I got kicked into another gear after that happened. I realized I am mortal. I will at one point. Whoever's listening to this, you will die. Get ready for it. You're going to die. Like, you don't know if it's today, tomorrow, 50 years from now. We have all these ideas, dreams, ambitions. I'll put it off. I'll do it later. Nothing's guaranteed. I would live every single day so that when you go to bed at night, you're like, I made good use of myself. I'm proud of myself. And I'm not saying work yourself to the bone and hate what you're doing. I'm saying, if this was your last shot at Earth, I mean, for me, if this was the last day, I'm happy being on those podcasts. I'm happy putting it out into the world that Alex is going to carry it all on his own after. But I try really, 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 really hard to make every single day doing the things I want to do. And conversely, I'm sorry, I'm getting long-winded here, but I try so hard to let the little stuff go. Allie, life partner, she's fucking awesome. She's part of the reason I've had this monumental growth in the last, I'm going to say 2 years, but we're on our 1 year and 11-month anniversary today, 23 months. It's a PR for me. I've never hit this far. I'm like, please hold out 1 more year so I can say I've at least had a 2-year relationship once in my life. I had like 6 relationships go over a year, but not hit 2. It's like a curse, but I think Allie's going to break the curse. Frankly, I've had some great partners, but I think my personal growth has just been at this like ramrod vertical thing for a while now. And it's hard for other people to be on that. Like, you got to be really, like you said, Jordan, vulnerable and kind and willing to grow and willing to do hard things to be around people like myself. And I was going to get back to let the little things go. Like when Ali and I, every couple fights, I mean, even Alex and I, we've had times where he's had to take a walk.
One time.
But one time so far. But what I always like, the easiest way I found a couple ways to snap out of that. Relationship advice. We're going to give that on here. Why not? Number one, if we're arguing over something silly, sometimes I'll be really dramatic. I'll be like, Ali, if a bad guy came up to the window and shot me in the leg and then like ran away, like, ha 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 ha, ha, and I'm like bleeding out on the floor, would we care about this? Like, would this be an issue, or would you attend to me? And she's like, of course I would attend to you. I was like, then let's get rid of this little issue. The other thing, I stole this from the Jacked Vegans, Julian Herrero and Eileen. He said that if they're in an argument, this works like magic, guys. Works like magic. If you're in an argument with somebody, you can be like, pause and list 10 things you love about them. I love how you cuddle me. I love how you cook for me. I love how you take care of me on a bad day. By the time you get to 10, unless they're heartless, or maybe you cheated on them or did something you really shouldn't do, it changes the energy. It reminds them that you're my partner and it's a problem that's an issue, not us. And so extremely powerful tool that Alex got to see me try once. It worked. Slow things down enough. So, all right. What did you say, Jordan?
I said I got to steal that.
Please, I stole it from Julian. That's the cool part about this, is like, we don't have to be in any type of way creative. We just got to steal the good things. And the best part about this, people with social media, repost your best reels. We've been doing that here for me. I hit 1.6 million views this month. Never done that before. Like, usually I was sitting around 500,000. I started reposting the best things, because guess what? Even if 1 million people see my reel, there's 8 billion people in the world and probably like 4 billion on Instagram and social media. You got your head so big that everybody that follows you and everybody that could ever follow you has seen your stuff. Post it again. Post it again. If it's good content, it'll get reshared. And the best example of this, I took this from Alex Hormozy, is there are Instagram accounts with millions of followers, and all they do is post quotes from Socrates or Plato's. These are philosophers from thousands of years ago. So what I mean by that is they're no longer alive. So they're not leaving new quotes. These pages can never make anything new. They can just recycle good content, and they got millions of viewers. It's okay to recycle. So Julian, thank you for giving me the 10 things I love about you. Jordan, take it home to your wife. If you could both get on the train, it's fucking awesome. So anyways, we're going to drop little nuggets of advice, or at least I will try my best, but we got to learn a little bit about Jordan, and we'll have to do a deep dive. We will. But first we'll have Gary. Alex, did we already do yours?
Not my vegan origin.
No, we didn't. You did your vegan squad, me and you origin. Let's go vegan origin, because you have a little bit different, and I think that's important for people to hear. Maybe we've got a pre-vegan on the phone. Let's tell them there's different ways to get here. So let's hear yours.
Okay. First, I just want to say, Jordan, thank you for sharing, and thank you to both of you for being so raw and vulnerable all the time, and Jordan for wearing your heart in your sleeve too, just like John. And I do agree. I feel like everybody on this team does that, and we just have such a awesome, trustful and vulnerable space, and just so accepting of everybody. So I'm very grateful, and I'm excited to share more life tips and our stories, and anybody else that comes on, and for y'all to hear more from our team. So yay for that. Thank you for sharing. My vegan journey, I went plant-based in 2019 because of the environment. I had never met a vegan before. My friend went vegan a couple weeks before me, and I don't know where I even had the preconceived notions from, because again, had never met a vegan, didn't know anything about it, but I was immediately like, vegans only eat salads, they can't get protein, you can't survive on this diet, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where that came from, but I think society was just already ingrained in me. But yeah, a couple of weeks later, I was just curious if there are vegan bodybuilders out there. I don't know why that thought came to my mind. I think the universe connected with me and was like, go look this up. But I looked it up, and I found Nimai Delgado and Brian Turner, a bunch of other vegan bodybuilders, and started looking into what vegans ate, realized that I already ate 80% of those foods. And then I stumbled on a podcast about the impact of farming now 96 billion animals per year, and the impact of that on the environment. I always consider myself really into environments and eco-friendly products. Like I would take Tupperware with me to restaurants that I wouldn't use to-go containers, like when I was like 16, and then learning about all the water that has to be used to process animals and feed them and everything, how much land needs to be used, that it's the second driver of deforestation. So all of the animals in those trees are being killed too. And I just saw that it wasn't a sustainable way of living. And I was really, really shocked and upset that that was the first time I'd heard that living vegan is the best way to be environmentally friendly. So I went vegan or plant-based that day. I just was eating like quinoa and beans and peas, like had no idea what I was doing, but I was feeling so much better. Like I just had so much more energy. I was recovering better after the gym, like within a week of eating better or eating plant-based, I was just feeling better. But yeah, so 6 months of doing that, I stumbled across a student activism organization through PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals. And then I started learning about animal sentience. That was the first time I really connected to an animal. Like I didn't see them as just an animal. I saw them as a soul with sentience and feelings and, ability to experience life. So then I started learning more about the animal agriculture industry and the different ways that we used animals, whether it's testing, food, clothing, furniture. And yeah, started doing some animal rights activism on my campus and doing tabling events to educate people. And yeah, so did that for a couple of years, graduated, worked for PETA for 3 months, doing traveling with a big animatronic elephant to elementary schools and educating kids about living vegan and having empathy towards animals. At the end of that trip, I was inspired by one of my coworkers at PETA to start coaching people on living vegan. That's where I decided to become your vegan mentor. And at first I was just going to coach college students. So, because that was what I was used to, is doing these tabling events, talking to people. But over time it grew. I ended up helping a couple people reverse their type 2 diabetes and lower their blood sugar. Over time have transitioned into coaching fitness. I've been really into fitness since I was like 16. So yeah, over time, I've continued to learn more about veganism. I'm really passionate about educating people about living vegan because I think it's the most impactful way that we can live our lives. It's the most fulfilling way. And yeah, we just get to really make change through the power of our dollar and the supply chains that we invest into. So.
Thank you, Alex. I think it's really powerful to see how we all ended up at the same end space, but like we came from different areas. Like Jordan, you started on the health journey, and then even possibly came off from it to another way, but then found your way back. And Alex started from environmental reasons, but then like, frankly, you were two of the most vegan people I know by my definition of vegan. Like, I think it's wonderful that people don't just eat animals, but I also think it's like, if there was a fire in your neighborhood and there was a bucket of water on the ground next to you and you just watched the fire start going over to your neighbor's house, like just watching it, you didn't create the fire, you're not making it worse, but if there's a bucket there and you can use it to help, like why wouldn't you help? And so being vegan is just watching. You're not hurting, you're not helping, but wearing it, speaking it, being it, doing it. Both of you guys have vegan shirts on this. I didn't ask for this. You just pretty much wear it where you go. And Jordan, like, you're sending me training footage, and then you told me in a really kind message that you now wear vegan shirts wherever you go. And I'm like, he's not even like, I know it now that he said it, but every time I've seen you in the gym, you got a vegan shirt on, and it's like Alex said, this is how we can change the world. We can change, of course, the economics of things. Like I always say, like if bananas were worth more than beef, like we just have banana farms everywhere. Like if there was more money in bananas, then that's what people would make. Like people make money off of meat. That's why we have meat. That's why we eat meat. That's why we brainwash people into eating meat, and trick them that they got to be masculine and kids got to drink milk and like all these things, and make up all these lies because it makes people that own those facilities money. I had another thing I wanted to say and now it's escaping me. I just want to say, like, Alex, you've done a lot for me. You've helped open my eyes to like how I can become a better person through our friendship. But also, I have been vegan 20 years, but I feel like what Alex has done in his time frame, he became an activist much sooner than I did on my journey. Within just a few years. Like Alex, like I've been vegan way longer but Alex has been an activist longer than I have on any meaningful scale, at least doing outreach or wearing vegan clothing or things along those nature. So I just want to say, like, wherever you're at, if you feel you're a little late, Allie's a little late. She's 41. She went vegan about 2 years ago, right around the time we met. And I remember it blew my mind because like a month or 2 months into it, she was wearing vegan socks to the gym every day. Like, just socks. But like, guys would notice, they'd start talking to her. Like, I think they were interested in her, but, oh, you're vegan? And then they would start having that conversation. And I'm like, it took me like 15 years to get there. You did it in 3 months. Like, okay, we can speed things up. We can do this faster. But my journey, so I was conceived, like all of us, and I started doing isometric holds for 9 months. And I came out with a fully grown beard and dyed green hair. My first words were bodybuilding vegan. No. I wish.
The new comic book, that's how it starts about you.
My mom said I was like incessant from basically as soon as I could kick. Like, I've been moving since before I was born. I've always been a pretty high energy kid, but I definitely wasn't born the bodybuilding vegan. I was not who a lot of you think of when you see me now. My little story is like, I was 4 years old and my dad asked me if I wanted to eat fish. And that was like the earliest time in my life that I can look back on and say, yep, I think I had what it takes to be a vegan, because I did not realize that fish in the water was the same thing as the fish on the plate. And so when I saw my dad take the fish out of the water and start to allow it to asphyxiate on the dock, I threw a fit. My dad put the fish back in the water. I hope they lived. People don't know this. Vegans don't even know this. Depending upon the species and the way the fishing is conducted, about 25 to 40% of catch and release fish die upon re-entering the water or within the next few hours. So like, people that are like, oh, it's just catch and release. Well, just killing 20 to 40% of people. Who cares? So did not go vegan at that time. Probably went and ate something else that had meat because I didn't know. The first time any type of, I knew one like vegetarian, like in preschool, because my mom would tell me this kid eats vegetarian food. Okay, but they didn't tell me why. Didn't tell me why they ate vegetarian food. I figured it was like a family thing. I was probably like 7 at the time, so like, I don't know, probably younger than 7 if I was in preschool. Either way, 10 years old, best friend comes over, tells me if I eat this hamburger, I'm killing a cow. I got angry with her. I got upset that her mom bought us this and my parents said it okay. Not upset at myself for eating it, but just like, why should I have to change? Everybody else does it. Your mom bought it. My parents do it. Like, not a big deal, right? If everybody does it, how can it be wrong? It's the mind of a 10-year-old. She planted a seed, and I could not stop thinking about it. And so I was not an overnight vegetarian. I cut out different animals. I decided, I don't want to kill you. I don't want to kill you. I had gotten down to fish and turkey, funny enough, right? Still eating fish, because it's like, well, it's better to eat a fish than a cow. Maybe not. Watch Seaspiracy. You'll learn some things. Cut fish out of my diet. Thanksgiving rolled around and I said, I'll still eat turkey. And then I looked at the turkey on the table. It's very clear. I think Thanksgiving was very telling. Like, it clearly looks like a turkey. Like, it looks like the carcass of an animal. And it's hard to get that out of your head once you've seen it. And so, vegetarian on my own accord. My parents didn't force me. No one forced me. My friend couldn't have forced me. I made the decision on my own. And I really thought that was about as far as you go. At 10 years old, I did not know there was more. I did not know a single other vegetarian in my life. My friend who had tried to get me to go vegetarian was off and on for a little bit. Later, she became vegan. Awesome. But I was the only person I knew. I was figuring this out basically alone. I mean, of course, my parents provided groceries and like helped me, but I didn't have any inspiration. At 13, I read a PETA magazine that my mom was trying to find more foods for me to eat. Unintentionally, I came across an article saying that vegetarians are not doing enough. And I read it thinking that whoever wrote this article must be an idiot, because clearly vegetarians don't kill animals. And then I realized how every single dairy cow is killed and tortured, and how every single hen ends up being killed. Like, it's just factory farming. The animals die either way, and probably in more horrible ways. And so pretty much overnight, vegan. Made a mistake 2 days in. I ate peanut M&Ms with my dad. I didn't realize at 13 that milk is in a lot of chocolates. Like, it was a lot of learning curves. But what I'm trying to tell is, if anybody's on the fence, like, you don't have to be perfect to start. You can make mistakes along the way. I'll make mistakes 20 years in. Somebody told me on a live stream the other day, the deodorant I use is tested on animals. And I was like, fuck. it's impossible to be a perfect vegan, but I won't ever buy that one again. I'll do some more research next time. Now that I think about it, like I can't fault anyone for not knowing what they don't know. But once you're presented with evidence and you have your own brain and your own free will, like I had a 13-year-old kid ask me at an event, like, how do I go vegan if my parents won't let me? I say, you do your fucking best. You do what you can. If you have an option between French fries or a burger, you take the French fries. But I don't want you to starve, because you can't be a vegan the rest of your life once you turn 18 and you can buy your own food. So you're going to have to do your best, and it fucking sucks, and I'm so sorry. Be the best that you can be. If you have control over your purchasing power, and eating vegan is cheaper. If you're a 13-year-old kid and you don't have a car, it's a little bit hard to go to the store and buy the food with the job you don't have. Do your best. But yeah, I went vegan at 13, never went back, never cheated, never. There was a little bit of a story about honey. Again, did not really fully understand. I was like, it's not killing the bees. And I'd buy only organic, local grown honey, like whatever. And then I went to the store and there was a dead bee in my honey jar that I had taken home. And I was like, that bee wouldn't be dead because of me if I didn't buy this. And so, like, again, not 100% perfect, but like trying my darn best. Again, not many people at the time, this was a long time ago, that gave me education or guidance, which I think is so important. What we're doing, guys, is being able to share this to other people and help speed up their journeys and make their journeys easier. And now I'm getting very long-winded, but yeah, no, I never wore it. I got bullied a lot. Didn't have green hair or a beard or anything like that. Decided to become a bodybuilder so that people wouldn't make fun of me. Turns out you become a bodybuilder and people still make fun of you. People will make fun of you no matter what you do. So you might as well live a life that makes you feel good about yourself, regardless of what the fuck other people think. And it wasn't until someone sent me a vegan shirt maybe 3-4 years ago that I started wearing a vegan shirt to the gym. Started getting a lot of conversations started. And then I started actually like that, because I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk to people. I don't like to start conversations. It's very hard for me to do. But I started to realize that I could become an actress. I guess vegan at 13, bodybuilding at 15. Started my first show prep around 21 years old and I tried to find bodybuilding vegan, but it was already taken by somebody that's made 4 posts in their life. And still haven't made any more. So I became the bodybuilding vegan on Instagram, and I didn't think much of it. I thought I would track my first show. Never realized, I guess what I'm trying to say is, never realized I'd get on this activism path. Never realized I'd have a podcast. Never realized I'd become the largest vegan bodybuilder in the world. Never realized that this was going to be a part of my life. I didn't realize this could be a part of my life. I thought I had to cover up who I was. Almost, I've made the analogy, like, I think if I was gay and just didn't tell anybody, like, some people knew, but some people didn't, and I never shared it, but I felt like I couldn't share it, and I just kind of tried to cover up that I was gay in every situation I could, unless it made a lot of sense to openly share it. Just cover it up. And then it exploded later, and now I'm like trying to put vegan on everything and be surrounded by vegans. I got my own little vegan bubble. I got this team. I got 20 people on our team, and it's been the best decision of my life to put this out there more. I feel like if you speak about what's important to you, you'll find other people that feel those same values. And so that was a long-winded way of saying I'm here now. I had no clue I'd be here. And kind of like Jordan, I had no clue we'd be interviewing Gary Yourofsky next week. Like, how can you predict that? How can you predict the future? And so what I tell people, so awesome. I just talked to somebody about their 5-year plan, or asked them what their 5-year plan. And they said, oh, fuck it, I'll put it public. It was Melissa. And she said, I don't have one. I'm just trying to find my own inner peace and happiness one day at a time, and reevaluate and put myself in places where I'm happy. I'm happy here right now. And I'm like, that's so awesome. Because like a year ago, if you told me, John, you are God, build the world that will be the happiest for you. You can manipulate things. You can change friends. You can change income. I mean, I guess if I could end factory farming, maybe the world would be a little bit better than I imagined. But like, realistically, like, you could move any pieces, paint the future, write out what you think you could do in a year if everything lined up perfectly. It wouldn't be this good. I didn't know Jordan, so how could I imagine the relationship I was going to have with Jordan? I didn't realize, Alex, that we were going to have a whole team that you help me manage now and help train. Alex has trained like over half the team. I didn't realize we'd be on this podcast. I didn't realize we could do so much good and help so many people, and that I could feel this happy and this loved by the people that mean the most to me. I could not have ever imagined this, and I'm so grateful. I practice gratitude every morning from the smallest things I can think of. Like, I'm grateful I have a sheet. I'm grateful that I have a phone. I'm grateful that there's a fan next to me, but I'm also grateful that I have Allie next to me. I'm grateful I have this team. I'm grateful I can breathe. I'm grateful I can see. I'm grateful I have my fingers. I try to find gratitude every single morning, from the littlest to the biggest things. And that's how I start my day. And I wouldn't trade my life with anyone else's. I feel very, very happy to be in the position I'm in, even though it's a lot of work. But I'm surrounded by the best people ever. And that was a very long monologue. These might happen on this show. Thank you guys for being here. I wouldn't rather be anywhere else in the world.
Love you, John.
Yeah, that was beautiful, brother.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
You guys
And
too.
I feel like there were a lot of lessons in your story of just like coming to, understanding about what happens in the world and like choosing differently, like choosing where your heart feels in most alignment to. I feel like for most of us that is being vegan, because most of us don't want to hurt other beings unintentionally. I've been slight tangent, but I've been reading this book by Jay Shetty called Think Like a Monk. He used to be a monk, and he has his own podcast show now and helps people elevate themselves and live their lives more spiritually. But anyways, he was just talking about Dharma, and Dharma is like your life's purpose. And I feel like you, John, and Jordan, and me, and everybody in this team, I think that we've all found our life's purpose. And I think there's always going to be, haters out there, but continuing to figure out what your Dharma is, like what you're passionate about, and also what you're good at, what you're skilled at, and continue to follow that and develop those skills, you will become you'll continue to become a more elevated version of yourself, and continue to put your heart out there and attract the right people around you that help light that fire more and continue to throw sticks onto your fire. They're not people that, put water on your fire and dim your light or dim you down in any way. And you just continue to become stronger and continue to share a more elevated way of life with other people. So just very grateful for you and you, Jordan, and I'm really grateful we get to be here together and helping people elevate themselves. So thank you.
This is beautiful already.
Yeah.
Nothing more emotional than three vegan men together.
True.
It's hard to find, man. If you don't specifically seek it out, how many times do you end up in a room with two other vegan men? It's pretty rare. I think it's growing. I will say to the other vegans out there watching this, what a large part of my success came from is from Instagram. And I don't mean from getting followers. I mean from finding Alex, finding Jordan, finding Maya, finding Allie, finding Brooke, finding Melissa. I'm just looking at my phone right now. Finding Alex Walsh, finding pretty much every single person on our team through Instagram, because you can dive a little deeper and find shared values. And if you work hard enough, you might find people around you, or you might find people willing to, like Alex, kind of travel around the country with you on this journey. And if nothing else, at least online, so you don't have to feel alone. That's kind of like the little pitch that I use for the community. If you've ever felt a little bit lonely living as a vegan in a non-vegan world, these are your people. They know what it's like, and they're here to support. Yeah. You can support them. We have like 3 minutes before I got to go take a separate call. If you guys want to support the podcast, share it. Vegan Squad Pod, friends, family. If there's an episode that really spoke to you, find somebody that you think it could help. You can obviously follow us on Instagram. We'll put that all in the show notes. And then if you're not in the Vegan Squad community already, DM myself or Alex. We can get you hooked up with a free month. And if you need one-on-one coaching, we're all coaches on the team. That is how we fund this. Quite frankly, we help people in their journeys, and then we try to help more people on their journeys with the money from helping from those people on their journeys. It's a lot more than just money. We all put our hearts into this. We don't overload ourselves with too many clients, but this is a big part of it. I mean, I feel like coaching is a great way to elevate your life. It's helped me learn a lot of things a lot faster. And like I said, I'm surrounded by the world's best coaches, so I'm light speed rocket ship. You guys want to drop your Instagram handles or say it in case somebody's listening?
Yeah, mine is Your Vegan Mentor 1, like the number 1.
Number one. Mine is at Vegan Bodybuilding with Cancer.
Cool. I will have all of our Instagram handles in the notes below, so check us out and Vegan Squad Coaching out. Like John said, if you want to join our community, DM any of us. And also, if you would like to hire one of us as your coach to help elevate you, we'll have the link down below as well.
podcast special. I'm going to put a special link. You can book your call with Aggie and get your free month set up in the community, so you guys can at least check it out and see if it's the right place. If you're vegan, it's probably the right place. If you're vegan that has any interest in health or fitness or wellness or yoga, it's definitely the right place. So, I think that wraps it up. We had no script, no idea what we were doing, and that is how I'm going to roll into most of these. So buckle up; they're going to be a little wild. Gary Yourofsky next. Jordan, I keep doing things I never. You have a list of questions, or I'm just going to be off the wall?
No, I got a huge list of questions, but most importantly, the group has a list of questions. And the community is ready. And I got those questions ready for them.
Oh, yeah. Cool. I'm excited.
All right.
Vegan Squad Pod out.